Ring, ring, ring. Postman. Who this?
Jarry the worst. Alright, so really quick, I wanted to show you guys what my makeup looked like before the masterclass. Obviously, I know I'm a good makeup artist. You can see I'm a good makeup artist, but there was just certain things like how well I cut the crease, how I blended everything, how harsh my contouring was, and overall just neatness of the makeup that I wanted to work on. And so this is my client work after the masterclass. Pay attention to how airbrushed that foundation looks. The contouring is there, but it's not as harsh. And the eyeshadow is blended, you guys, and everything just looks overall soft but impactful. And lastly, I wanted to show you guys my teacher's work. So this is the work that I was aspiring for. It's very neat, soft, but still impactful, you know, and I thought it'd be a good idea to show you guys the effect of the class and, you know, how I took it and what I was aspiring for before starting the video. Okay, so now we can get started. Alright, so boom, hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Jarry and it's been so long. I'm gonna go over it probably in this video or another video or maybe in between, I don't know. But today we're gonna be talking about what I learned in my $300 makeup class. It might as well have been $500 if we keeping it real, because that's what I spent on the whole trip itself. I'm in DC. I went to New York to take a makeup class because for some reason all the greatest, like all the really good makeup artists, or at least a really good glam type of makeup artists, live in New York. And that's just that on that, like they're in New York or they're in Atlanta. We're going to be doing this look today and I'm going to be implementing a lot of the techniques that she taught me, and just showing you guys the techniques as well. I want to talk to you guys about what I learned in the actual class, because like when I first initially posted it, people were congratulating me like, wow, like, you know, you've been doing makeup for years, this just shows that you can still learn from a teacher, blase blase. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that does show that I can still learn, you know. But I more so took it because I felt like I wasn't pushing myself to learn enough, and I felt like YouTube wasn't enough either. Like trying to shift through YouTube to figure out new techniques to implement in my own. First of all, I don't even watch makeup tutorials anymore myself. I usually just watch a lot of news on YouTube or a lot of commentary or comedy channels, you know. And so you know, I just felt like I had to stop being so cocky and accept help, because when I looked at my client makeup bitch was not the client makeup of Shirley Beats. That's who I took. She's an amazing artist. I've been following her for a good year now. It's kind of hard to identify this type of makeup, I guess, but it's like client glam that's for black girls, you know. We have like this very distinct, very deep but very soft type of look that we want in our makeup, and our eyebrows always have to be really crisp, our lips have to be very soft, and it's just like a very well put together makeup look that obviously looks like you have makeup on. That's pretty much what people ask for in DC as well. So it's like, why not go to New York where they're doing it the best and get an artist to show me how to do it. She taught me the entire face, but today we're going to be focused on only the eye. Also, I know I've been gone for a really long time. I'll probably put it all in another video, but I started my own brand. It's called Ex-Girlfriend. I sell shoes, bitch. I know, very, very wild. I went from makeup to shoes, but it's just what I'm passionate about right now. Yeah, I'm gonna just show you guys. So these are my shoes. The brand is called Ex-Girlfriend. That's what I've been doing for the past month and a half. I'll expand on it if you guys want me to in a separate video. But yeah, we have them in every single color. The lilac one is just my favorite right now. And yeah, I also signed up to be a part of the Sephora squad. So if you have anything nice to say, if I've ever inspired you, please click the link underneath the description box and it'll take you to the Sephora squad, and you can leave like a testimonial and you can vote for me to be a part of the Sephora squad. And yeah, please do it. I don't have anything else to say, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get started. Okay. So boom, you guys, we're going to zoom right in and start off with my left eye. So I'm going to take my LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn and start basing my lids. Now, when I took my lesson, Shirley used the Tarte Shape Tape. And you may be wondering, why the hell are you using such an expensive concealer to base your lids? The Tarte Shape Tape dries down very matte and it has a very airbrush look to it. It oxidizes just a tiny bit, but it kind of matches your tone even before it oxidizes. And so because I wasn't willing to go out and buy it, I just felt like it was way too expensive for my kit right now. I went ahead and just used a lot less of the LA Girl Pro Concealer. Made sure I patted it down, you guys, until it looked as matte as it was going to look, because the LA Girl Pro Concealer is a very liquidy consistency, you know. Then I'm going to take my Zesty primer and then just tap that at the middle of my lid. She also used a primer, but I forgot the name of it. Now for the fun part, you guys, we're going to take the Morphe 25D palette and this light brown shade out of it and start with our transition color. Now watch my brush. I'm going to start at the middle of my lid and I'm going to go from side to side, tapping out that color. I'm not tapping in one area, I'm going side to side. This is going to ensure that you have a very even airbrush transition shade to work on top of. So if any mistakes are made, you can go back to this transition shade and just tap on top of it and it'll be corrected. Now I'm going to go into my Karma palette by Siren XO and I'm going to take this reddish burgundy shade out of it and start tapping this along my lid, but this time it's going to be a little bit lower from that brown. So we're using the same exact technique, starting from the middle, going side to side, but instead we're just a little bit lower on the lid. One thing I remember her definitely noting at this point was that you should only be using 3 transition shades. You know, when you're doing client makeup, that's what she was training me for. You don't have time to be using 4 or 5 shades on your client. You know, they want to get in and out. They don't understand what you're doing. Like, they just know you're taking forever on it. So just make sure you're paying attention to timing. So another thing that I'm doing is taking this light brown shade, the first transition color, and blending out the second transition color. Even though I already put that pigment down, I'm just making sure it has an airbrush look to it. That's a point that she continuously made. Make sure you're always blending. So if I put down transition shade 2, I'm going to go back to transition shade 1 to blend out 2. If I put down transition shade 3, I'm going to go back to 2 to blend out 3. And then I'm going to go back to 1 to blend out 2. And that's it. I hope that all makes sense. So now I'm at my transition shade 3. It's this dark burgundy color and I'm using a smaller density fluffy brush. Same shape but smaller because I just wanted to touch that red. I don't want the burgundy to take over the look. I still want to see these transition shades, but I don't have a lot of space. So I just wanted to touch that red. And then I took transition shade 2, like I said, to blend out 3, and then I'm going to go all the way back to transition shade 1 to blend out 2. Okay, you see how it makes sense now? Now, say if you bring the eyeshadow up way too high. She even taught me what to do then, because in my lesson, I bring it up too high. But you're going to take this really, really light brown and then just dust that, lightly dust it across transition shade 1, and it won't make the color disappear, but it'll definitely bring it down and unintensify it, you know? Definitely make it less saturated. So finally, I'm just going to take this white and tap it at my tear ducts, make it super soft looking, and then I'm going to go on to cutting my crease. I'm going to use my Inglot eyeliner and a flat brush to cut my crease with. If you're new, you're like, what in the world? Why are you using an eyeliner to cut your crease? It's a gel liner that has a very reflective nature to it, and it also holds onto pigments extremely freaking well, you guys. Part of the reason for that is because it takes a really, really long time for this gel to dry down, and that's what adds to it being very like glue, you know, glue but not really glue. And also the reflective nature makes anything that you put on top of this pigment look bright, you know. But another thing that I want to note is that when she was explaining to me how to cut my crease, she didn't do a good job, honestly, because I walked away from the appointment not understanding it, and she had to literally help me, take the brush from me and cut my crease on my side, because she did one side and then I did the other. And so basically what happened here was, from what I observed and from the video, she pulled the crease up and then she pulled it out. The crease that she made was never touching my own crease. It was always above it. And like when I opened my eyes and looked forward, you could always see that it was above it. So it was never on top of it. Does that make sense? Basically, she pulled it up and out and curved it at the end. That way, all of her looks were very big. All of her eyeshadow looks were very big, but still soft because she did not curve her cut crease too early. She kind of just made a soft angle to it, you know. So I figured she has these very big eyeshadow looks and she softens it up by just having these soft cut creases. You know, these cut creases that aren't strictly following your crease, but more so making a softer crease for the eyeshadow. So being that I didn't close off that cut crease, I'm going to take that burgundy shade and the red and kind of just tap that at the edges to kind of give it a gradient effect. And you know, no technique here, just tapping it on top, making sure it's nice and pigmented. Then I'm going to take my Inglot pigment. This is the exact pigment she used, and I'm going to tap it at the middle of my lid, leaving space at my inner crease area, but also not going directly over that burgundy. And after I'm done tapping this pigment, I'm going to go back to my burgundy, tap that on top. And yeah, Inglot has a lot of really nice pigments. If there's any pigments that are my fave, it's Inglot. However, it's super expensive. Their pigment is like $20 and it's like a small little thing of it, so it's like, yeah. But next, I'm going to take my Lemonade pigment from J. LaRue, tap that at the inner crease area, and then finish off with my white gold pigment. These two pigments are really well known on Instagram just because of, like, when you take pictures, they come up amazingly, you know? So that's another point that she made throughout our tutorial or the lesson. She was consistently layering pigments and glitters, and as you guys can see, I went ahead and just layered that pigment with a glitter, a chunky glitter at that, and I used glue to put it down, because you can use the eyeliner to hold on to pigments, but as far as glitters, you need a stronger adhesive, and lash glue has always been that little trick a lot of makeup artists use for you know, thicker glitters so it doesn't fall on your face throughout the day. Now I'm just going to go back into my Karma palette, take that black and tap out that eyeliner just to give it a smoky look, and then I'm just going to take my Bad Gal mascara from Benefits and put this on the top and bottom lashes. Make sure you're always using mascara because, you know, a lot of pigment and eyeshadow falls on your lashes throughout the look, and mascara just kind of camouflages it all together. Then I'm going to take my Inglot gel liner, and this one's in black, and it's my favorite, listen, my favorite eyeliner from the bottom lash line because it literally glides on so fast and so pigmented. A lot of clients water up underneath their lash line, and this eyeliner helps me get through their lash line super quick, you know, and I don't have to go back in to retouch it. So now you see me just putting some mascara at my bottom lash line, making a smoky effect. Then I just finished up with a shimmery white at my inner tear duct area to make it pop. Admittedly, I do not use mascara on the bottom lash line of my clients just yet, just because I always mess this part up and I get it on the foundation. It's one of the last things you have to do, and it's really hard, super hard to correct that, you know. Now for the fun part, we're going to compare my work to the class work that Shirley and I did. Granted, I didn't really like the lippy that she used nor the nose contour, but everything else was amazing, you guys. And so I think I did a really good job recreating her look. Granted, I didn't have a lot of pigments like her because, like I said, she likes to layer hers, and that's how you get that really bright look. But everything else was cool. Also, the cut crease, I think I did a really good job with the cut crease. Probably needed to be higher, but like I said, she didn't really teach me about the cut crease, so I have to kind of learn that by myself and get it better as I go along. But yeah, you guys, if I had to rate the class, I would say it's a 9 out of 10. She was very attentive. She was very meticulous. She made sure I was doing everything the way she wanted me to do it, the way she was going to teach it. The only point I would take off is that she did not teach me how to do a cut crease very well. I'm sure she was doing it, but she didn't do it very well. And that was pretty much the point of the whole lesson. Like, she was literally supposed to teach me how to cut my crease and then everything else, you know. I just want you guys to take this video as a grain of salt. There's always room to grow as an artist. Even if you feel like you're an amazing artist, there's always room to learn from somebody else and their own techniques. For example, Shirley is pretty much an influencer and I'm pretty much an influencer too. Thus, we pretty much get the same PR packages and have the same products. However, she had the same products as me, but she used them in a totally different technique, and that's what she taught me from. And so that's what I was pretty much learning in the class, a different way to use the products that I already had, and more, you know. So I say all this to say not, oh, I'm gonna go book a $300 makeup class. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is have room to grow, you know. Don't just get content in where you're at. Try to grow and figure out a way to grow. If you feel like you can grow through watching YouTube tutorials, good. There's Kiki Adams, there's Beauty by Melissa. There's so many makeup artists out here that you can watch them apply makeup and watch them explain it, and then you can grow from their techniques. Or if you feel like you're more of a hands-on learner, book a class, identify an artist, look at them for a while, make sure you want to learn their techniques and learn from it. But don't get consent. Don't just be cocky and be like, oh, I don't need to learn anymore, blase blase. Make sure you're always trying to grow, okay? I hope this all made sense. I hope I'm not just rambling. I hope I'm inspiring. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna just let you watch me do this eye. I just wanted to show you I'm working from bottom to top with this eye. So with I worked from transition shade 3 all the way up to 1 versus the other eye where I worked from transition shade 1 to down to 3. And I just wanted to show you it's possible each way. Just make sure you're taking your time. Are y'all tired of hearing me talk yet? So I just wanted to interject really quick and tell y'all, make sure your eyeliner is also matte. That's another thing she went over in the lesson. Make sure your eyeliner is matte. That way when it dries down, it looks super freaking black and pigmented. And make sure you're tapping out that eyeliner to smudge it at the bottom before it dries. That way you get that nice smoky look. Now I'm just going to finish up with a blush, highlighter, and lippy. I'm using my Covergirl liquid blush. And this is like really, it's a very subtle blush with a lot of shimmer to it. So I really like it. Then I'm going to take my Milk Makeup Glaze highlighter. This is pretty much my go-to when I want to highlight, but I don't want it to look too bright. I just want it to look like it's there. And then I'm going to finally finish off with a brown lip liner and some brown gloss and a little bit of pink in the middle. The brown gloss that I'm going to be using is from Siren XO, and it's just their brown gloss. I didn't see a name on it. And that's it, you guys. I'm done. I'm going to let you guys see the finale, okay? Okay, bitch. I turned my ring light off, and I kind of just wanted you guys to see the glitter in this hair. Because if I turn my ring light on, let me show y'all. So here we are. If I turn the ring light on, it makes me look pale, so I'm just going to keep the ring light off. All right, you guys, and that's it. I really love this look. I'll be so happy when this quarantine is over and I can get back to doing client makeup. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to vote for me in the Sephora squad. Check out my shoes, and I will see you in my next video. I'm back making videos because there's literally nothing else to do. All right, bye.
Looks, I be giving looks, Fashion Week in New York and I just got booked. Looks, I be giving looks, Fashion Week in New York and I just got booked. Looks, I be giving looks, Fashion Week in New York and I just got booked. Looks, I be giving looks, Fashion Week in New York and I just got booked.